ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। I hope you all had wonderful Deepavali and New Year, Vikram Samvat 2082. We'll continue our journey, Mundaka Upanishad, third Mundaka, first Khanda, and sixth verse. Satyamev jayate nanrutam satyena pantha vitato devayanah yena akramantriushayo yapta kama yatra tat satyasya paramam nidhanam. Truth alone triumphs. We all who grew up in India might remember this verse or this motto, Satyameva Jayate. Truth only triumphs. So it comes from Mundaka Upanishad. Satyameva Jayate Nanrutram Satyena. So truth alone triumphs, never falsehood. The path of truth extends into the way to the gods. On that path do the sages go, whose desires are extinguished, for there is the supreme resting place of truth. Satyasya paramam nidhanam. Very importantly, the Rishi here says that those who walked along this path, they get to rest in truth, Satya, only if their desires have been extinguished. So, if there are no desires, they walk along the path. That's the first condition. And also, if they are walking on the path, they do not have desires, meaning they are free from any bondages. Because when we work or do actions, they bond us, they bind us to any of the results that we come across. But even thoughts, they are also binding. Even though the thoughts, like daydreaming, uh, that can result into nothing, no physical action or nothing in reality, but still that thought process is also an action, and that binds us. We all might have experienced that. Let's say we think about or we desire for something very intensely, and if we don't get that, so over the period of time we kind of lose interest in that, or we might feel uh, it's like sour grapes. uh, okay, if I did not get it, maybe it was wrong. So those types of notions that we come across, so these are all the results of the thoughts. Similarly, Rishi here says you can have, see, when we are on the path of truth, we are desiring to be one with Paramatma or Parabrahma. So we have that wish, we have that desire. So at least that desire we have. But that does not take us to the truth. Even that desire has to be extinguished. That's the ultimate extinguishing, meaning that's the last bondage we all can have. Even the great sages, great saints, all those great minds, they always desired for being one with Bhagavan, Paramatma, Parabrahma, whatever name we give it, Sri Krishna, Ramchandra, or Durga Ma, Adya Shakti, Shiva, whatever name we give. But that is the ultimate desire anybody can have on the path of this truth. But ultimately, we must be free from that desire also, because that desire also takes us to very close to the root, or very close to the ultimate goal. But the last stride requires that that desire also be gone. So that's what Rishi is talking about here. Now, Rishi says Satyameva Jayate, truth alone triumphs. But what truth? Because truth is relevant. Your truth versus my truth, can differ. Uh, Even though we are going to describe the same action or same event, our truths can be different, because the way we look at a particular event, it's again with our perception, our perspectives, our desires. So, what is truth then? So, Samadhan for that is in Kathopanishad. Parabrahma or Paramatma, that is the only truth. The rest is falsehood. So, whatever we see around us, for us, this is reality. But in reality, this is not real. This is reality for us for now. But once we are above or we are on the path of sadhana, even this, the fan, this room, the floor, we are sitting here, the phone, each one of us, we all look different, right? We are different entities. But ultimately, that's the falsehood. We all are one. This chair, this floor is all connected to us. There is only one truth. Truth can be only one, cannot be more than one. So that is the truth, the Parabrahma or Paramatma, which pervades everything, each and every particle of this universe. That alone is the truth. And that will triumph, meaning ultimately the falsehood will fall off. And whatever remains is the truth, Parabrahma. And that's what Rishi is mentioning here. Seventh verse. बृहच्च तद् दिव्यमचिन्त्य रूपं सूक्ष्मच्च तत् सूक्ष्मतरं विभाति दूरात् सुदूरे तदिहान्तिके च पश्यन्त्येहैव निहितं गुहायाम्. Meaning, he is expansive and divine, has a form beyond contemplation, and appears more subtle than the subtlest. He appears farther than the farthest, but is nearest, situated in the cave of the heart. So this is what at multiple places the wise minds always talk about, that Paramatma is not outside or anywhere else. It's within us, within our Hriday, the Anahata Chakra or Hriday Guha, that cave of the heart. Paramatma always the nearest, but we always look for him or her outside. And that's why God feels distant. We always say it's above, but above there is nothing. Whatever is within us. Eighth verse. न चक्षुषा गृह्यते नापि वाच नान्यैर्देवैस्तपसा कर्मण वा ज्ञानप्रसादेन विशुद्धसत्त्वस्ततस्तु तं पश्यते निष्कलं ध्यायमानः. Meaning, he is not grasped by the eye and not by the speech and not by sense organs, austerities or actions. When one's nature is purified by the prasada of knowledge, then one can see him by meditating upon him as the undivided one. Very importantly, when we talk about Ashtanga Yoga, it has two divisions. First four, Yama, Niyama, Dhyana. I mean, not Dhyana. Yam, Niyama, Asana, and Pranayama. Those four, they are at the physical level. Our body needs to be cleansed. Our mind needs to be cleansed. So all the clogged uh, samskaras of previous births or this birth, we need to first remove. So once our body and mind is purified, the next four steps. That does not mean we shouldn't do the rest four. We all, I mean, all the 8 steps must be done all together. So then pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So once body and mind are clear, those rest four will be like fast forwarded. And then the Rishi says Jnana Prasadena. So the prasad of Jnana, the knowledge. Now what is Jnana? The knowledge of Parabrahma, Paramatma. That is knowledge or Jnana. Rishi is talking about. So that is given to us as a prasad. It is not something we can achieve. It is not something that we can attain, even though that's the goal. But that goal, whatever actions we do, that actions will not give that result of samadhi, meaning undivided one. So that always comes to us as a prasada of that knowledge, that jnana. So very important thing to understand. There is one story, a teenager, like 15, 16-year-old boy, wanted to learn dhyana. So he went to some acharya and asked for, tell me the process and how I can do that. So acharya told him, okay, this is the thing and keep doing every day. So he started practicing. After 6, 7 years, he met that guru again and said, I did intense sadhana for 6, 7 years, but nothing happened. What should I do? Then guru said, okay, stop, don't do anything. He was like shocked. Why should I stop? Then guru explained, because your sadhana was driven by particular goal. That goal was a central point for you, not the sadhana. So your focus was on the goal, not on the sadhana, and that's why that goal never appeared to you. As long as you focused on the sadhana, the rest should have been taken care of. So that always comes as a prasad. So we also need to remember this, that whatever we do, our job is to do the sadhana. Meaning, even we read Upanishads, we listen to Upanishad, these talks. So these are all like a preparatory thing, but that is not the. Uh, don't assume that that will give you or take you to somewhere. This is again, this is our action, this is our duty. That's what we all are doing, and that's all what we can do. But that ultimate samadhi or that ultimate sayujya with Parbrahma or Paramatma, that always comes as a prasada. So don't make it, even though we think that that is our goal, but we should focus on sadhana, not on the goal. So that is important. Ninth verse. Esho anuratma chetasa veditavyo yasmin pranah panchada sanvivesh प्राणैश्चित्तं सर्वमूतं प्रजानां यस्मिन् विशुद्धे vibhavatyesha atma. Meaning, this subtle self or atma can be known through the mind, into which five-fold prana have merged. He who knows that prana is interwoven with the mind becomes thus purified and realizes the self. Uh, if we look at this verse word to word, it shows the process. What happens when somebody is on that path, is very close to seeing that state of samadhi, then what happens? So we always talk about panch prana, prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. They all come from the same prana, and prana is the ultimate force or energy. I wouldn't say force or energy, but just to simplify. So that is the life force that drives everything in this universe. All of our actions, body actions, mind actions, everything is driven by that. So ultimately, all these panch prana, there are different functions for all the pranas. I think it was part of Mandukya Upanishad. Uh, Prana, we all know that when we breathe in, that prana is the life force, like oxygen and rest of those things, and it flows through all the body organs and nourishes and gives, I mean, exchanges energy and all that. So that is the basic prana. Then apana, which is downward, takes care of our excretion, all those taking out the all the remainder of food and water and all that. And vyana, which is when the blood circulates throughout the body, that is vyana. And udana, that gives buoyancy, upward liftment to the body. and samana, whatever we eat, whatever we drink, that is digested by that samana. So these pancha prana, they all come from prana, which is the basic breath we take in. But when they combine together, meaning they all mix in, Rushi doesn't mention here, but what happens is all these pancha prana, they get together at the basis of Sushumna Nadi, which is in the middle of the spine. And that gives the upward movement. That upward movement, when it reaches mind, the mind knows what is happening, mind experiences, and that experience puts that person very close to Atma. Ultimately, he or she gets the Atma Sakshatkar, is what basically happens. So, Rishi does not mention all the steps here, but uh, with guidance of a guru, we we get all these experiences and we understand what is happening with this panch prana. And the goal is to combine all and have the upward movement, which is Kundalini Shakti. 10th verse. Yam yam lokam manasa samvibhati विशुद्ध सत्व कामयते यांश्च कामान तम तम लोकम जयते तांश्च कामांस्तस्मादात्मज्यम ह्यर्चयेत भूति कामः. Whichever worlds can be imagined in the mind, whatever desires can be desired, the man of purified nature wins those worlds and attains those desires. Therefore, he who desires anything should worship him indeed, who knows the self. Now again, Rushi earlier said don't have any desires, but now he says desire for anything, should worship. Why does he say that? So we cannot stop our mind, no matter whatever we do. If somebody claims that I have controlled my mind, that's okay, but I have stopped my mind, that is not possible. Otherwise, I mean, only two possibilities: either is out of consciousness or dead. Then only mind can stop. Otherwise, mind will function. So that functioning creates lot of imaginations, lot of desires, lot of thoughts. So all these things create different worlds, is what Rushi says. There is a very wonderful story. You might have heard this Rushi named Kak Bhushundi. He is famous in Ramayana. So Kak Bhushundi is said that he has seen or witnessed multiple creations and destructions of the universe. He has witnessed himself. And he was a great wise pandit, and but his speech was very fierce. So he was cursed to take birth as a snake. Now he was frightened and prayed Shiva, and Shiva said, well, the curse, I cannot do much about it, but at least I can give you blessings that you will not be born as a snake, but instead as a crow. So Kak, that's why that name Kak. Kak means crow. Kak Bhushundi. So he was born as a crow, but he was enlightened being. So even in that body of a crow, he was enlightened. And what he did was he saw that, oh, this is beautiful universe. It is created like this. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Shiva, they all are functioning like this. Let me see what is beyond that. So he went into a different universe. In that universe, Brahma was the destructive force. Brahma was killing Shiva, Brahma was killing Vishnu, Brahma was destructing everything. He was surprised. He went to a even different universe. There everything was out of balance. Nobody was functioning as desired. So universe was about to collapse. Fourth universe. He witnessed everything in completely out of their own nature in his own universe. Like Brahma, instead of creating, Brahma used to just beholder, and Vishnu was a destructor, and Shiva was constructing or creating everything. And in one universe, he saw that all the devas, they were confused, were not doing anything. What was that? So he was very confused, Kagbushundi. He asked all the devas, what is happening? Do you know the root cause? Do you know the cause? What is happening here? They said, we don't know. So he meditated, started doing dhyana, and then realized, oh, this is completely false. This is unreal. What is happening is I, and I, myself, my Atma, is witnessing everything. So, witness is the ultimate thing we must do and leave everything aside. So, just witness whatever happens in your life, whatever happens around you, whatever happens in your mind, just witness and enjoy. If something good happens, we always enjoy, but keep a distance. Even that enjoyment, that happiness, keep a distance. So you can also enjoy what is happening in your mind with that joy. If something bad happens, you fought with someone, somebody said something, you did not like it, also enjoy that. What is happening in your mind, how that creates reactions. Just try to enjoy that, watch, witness. And that's how Kag Bushundi freed from this cycle of death and birth. And he became enlightened. After that, what I said before, that it doesn't matter whether you have body or not. He kept his body a crow and witnessed all the creations and destruction and enjoyed. So whenever Ramchandraji takes birth, I mean, it's Ishwar, God, takes different avatars, but whenever that avatar is of Ramchandra, he always appears and devotes himself to that particular avatar because he liked that avatar very much. And this all, whatever story I am saying, this is mentioned in Yoga Vasishta. It's a very beautiful book. Uh, the modern science very recently is talking about multiple universes, parallel universes, but Yoga Vasishta has these parallel universes. Now, if we look at creativity force or destructive force, these are all at the molecular level, at the atomic level. There are various forces that is acting, and if they are out of bound, what happens? I mean, science explains all this, but Yoga Vasishta, at least 7,000 years ago, wrote all this. So that is the reality.
So it's like, don't try to understand what's happening in all the universes. So
Just witness, observe.
so
Yes.
don't
Don't judge anything. Well, even judgment, it's mind, right? Mind is naturally inclined towards creating conclusions. If I say something bad about you, your first reaction is, I don't like it, I'll retaliate, right? But if you can witness, just distance from that thought, you'll enjoy. Hey, look at my mind, what is it doing? Well, it's very hard to do, but with little sadhana, following Ashtanga Yoga, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, at least we can control or we can start observing our mind, our body actions. That is quite possible.
but you always try to make sense of things, right? But in this story, it's like don't try to understand or something.
Just witness, just observe. Nothing else matters because you will be confused. If you try to find the root cause, meaning who created this universe, how it came to existence, I think that was your question, right? That we are part of the dream. But why God had to see that dream? If we try to search for that, we'll be lost because we are part of the dream. So we'll never be able to know that. So instead, just enjoy, observe, witness. Yes. So when we do the dhyana, right, the of the mind working or focus on something. So at that point, does the mind observe anything? What does it do really? I would say that's a wrong goal. We do not try to stop mind. Instead, if you focus on, stay away from what mind is doing. Mind will keep jumping, right? This, yeah, thought, that thought. Yeah. But at least if you try to watch, you take away yourself from that thought. First, you'll be part of the thought, but then you'll step away. You'll observe, oh, This thought came to me. Now this thought is arising. Now the next thought is coming. So if you do that, then mind will not disturb you. Mind will be its own territory and you'll be on a different territory. So that will happen. So don't try to control it. It's like a monkey, right? Ask monkey to stop doing certain thing, but that monkey will keep doing, cannot be stopped. So instead, don't fight with it, but step away. It might feel hard to do right now, but if you, deliberately start doing it, ultimately you will be able to do it. And that is the first step of dhyan. Whatever we do, that okay, focus on third eye or focus on anahat chakra and try to observe what is happening. So this step is dharana, it is not dhyan. But once your mind is away from, your mind keeps working, but you are away from all this, then the dhyan starts. And once dhyan starts, Paramatma, Parabrahma knows what to do. So Paramatma will give us prasad of samadhi. That's what Rishi is saying, and that's what happens. Even in Bhagavad Puran, it is written that devote every breath of yourself to Sri Krishna. You do all these things. You keep walking or running towards him. But at certain point, you won't have to do anything. Sri Krishna will come to you because he is aware of what you are doing. So ultimately, that last stride, you don't have to walk. God himself will walk for it or towards you. So that is his prasad. So don't fight with mind. It is impossible. Well, that completes the first khanda of third Mundaka. Third Mundak and second khanda. First verse. स वेदैतत् परमं ब्रह्म धाम यत्र विश्वं निहितं भाति शुभ्रम् उपासते पुरुषं ये यह कामास्ते शुक्रमेत गतिर्वर्तन्ति धीराः. Meaning, he who knows that Param Brahma, brightly shining abode in which this entire universe is contained, that wise one who worships that Purusha with desires extinguished, becomes pure and transcends everything. Rishi is repeating this thing again and again, that your desires must be extinguished. Then only that bright one, Param Purush, Hiranmay Purush, which is very bright, brighter than the brightest thing in this universe, you will be able to get the glimpse of that Param Purush, that Parabrahma. Now think about this, the whole universe, Hubble telescope, James Webb telescope, whatever instruments we have been using, or electron microscopes, very tiny of the tiniest things, even electrons, quarks. We talk about all these tiny things, and the great extent of the universe, like 13 billion light years across, or 15 billion light year across. All is contained within that Param Purush, and that Param Purush resides within us. We are kind of an expression, a part of it, but two extreme extents, bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest. How is it possible that something is the bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest at the same time? So that is beyond our comprehension. We cannot comprehend. It is beyond our perception. That means just completely surrender. Don't try to go into details. And whatever has to be revealed, Paribrahma will reveal. And dhiraha, one word, very important. What will happen is once you are on that path, You start doing dharana, dhyana every day for 5 minutes. Within first month, you'll experience, oh, so many things are happening within me. I'm starting to understand so many things. Then nothing will happen for a year. Nothing will happen for 5 years. And you'll think, what is happening? I am lost. No, you have to be dhira. You have to be persistent. You have to be uh, waiting. Things will come. Swami Vivekananda very famously said, remember, if nothing happens for a longer time, it will come as a bomb. So it will take you away in a fraction with great force, great potency. If small things happen, they'll happen in a small period of time. But if big things to happen, you'll have to wait. You'll have to be ready. You'll have to be prepared for that. So that's why be persistent and never leave your sadhana. Even for 5 minutes every day, that means every day without failure. And if nothing happens, still you need to keep doing it. And abode is very shiny. I mean, we all talk about this very attribute over and over again across multiple Upanishads. And again, upasate is very important word also. Upasana can be done multiple ways. We have a sakar murti, that is also one way. We also sit down somewhere and do dhyana in third eye or anahata chakra, that is also one way. But at least do some upasana, do some sadhana, and whoever is we are going to worship or doing upasana, that is the ultimate. We will start with some idea, but that idea will be blown away ultimately because we don't know the truth. We just see the relative truth. So that has to be gone. That has to be extinguished. Yes. What is the difference between sadhana and meditation? Meditation is part of the sadhana. So whatever you do, sadhana means sadhyate. You are doing something for a particular goal. So that goal, whatever actions you do, no matter how tiny or how big it is, it's all sadhana. And the right word is dhyana, I would say. Meditation is more of a focus, concentration. So dhyana is beyond even beyond that. So dhyana is part of the sadhana, one of the steps of the sadhana, I would say. Second verse, कामान यह कामयते मन्यमानः स कामभिर्जायते तत्र तत्र पर्याप्त कामस्य कृतात्मनस्तु इहैव सर्वे प्रविलीयन्ति कामः. Meaning, he who involves his mind in objects of desire is born again and again according to those desires. But the one who determines his desires have been fulfilled enough, indeed, all his desires vanish here. We all have multiple desires, thoughts, ideas, and all those things, as long as we are attached, will give us new births. Because we have to, well, this is the blessing. Whatever we desire, whatever, no matter what it is, even if somebody would desire that I would be king of this earth, the greatest desire, or I would be the greatest person on this earth, or I would win 10 Nobel Prizes. All these are desires. This birth, next birth, 100 births, or 1,000 births, it's going to be fulfilled. If we have that desire, we are going to be born again and again. All of our wishes, all of our desires will be completed, no matter what. This is the blessing. But we are not patient enough. We want everything in this life. That is not possible. Not all of us can get everything in this life, right? In one life. So we'll have to wait across multiple births. But ultimately, this is the blessing because we are part of Parbrahma. Parabrahma knows what we wish for, and all the desires have to be fulfilled because that's Adya Shakti. So even if we pray, even if we don't pray, it's going to be fulfilled. And once we fulfill all of our desires, everything is done, then we'll be free from it. Then there is no birth. But this is a very long way. You will have to wait maybe a million births. Who knows? But we are in a hurry. If we are in a hurry, we want to be done with all the desires in this life. We don't want to be bound by million lives, okay? Because every desire comes with good or bad results. Actually, it's not always good, it's not always bad. Every good result is entangled with something bad. Every bad result also has some good in it. So, no matter whatever we desire, somebody may desire, okay, I want to donate, I would to have enough wealth to donate billion people like Mukesh Ambani, but it will be given to us. We'll be able to give our wealth to billion people, but to attain that wealth, to maintain that wealth, whatever we had, we'll have to do, whatever we'll have to sacrifice, we'll have to be ready for that. Because every action has always mixed result. There is some good, there is some bad. There is some more good, there is some more bad. We don't know. So we have to be ready. And that's why whether we want to wait for millions of births to finish off all the desires, or we want to finish off all the desires in this life, that is up to us. That is our choice. And if we want to hurry, we want to stop all the desires, then do the sadhana, Ashtanga Yoga sadhana. So we can burn off all the sanchit karma, all the sanchit desires. Very interestingly, 2 days back, I was reading some new development in quantum theory. So this person was talking about, actually, theoretically, he proved that time is not linear. We always see that time is moving forward, right? From past to present to future. But he proved that time is not linear, like all the three dimensions, which are cyclic or curvature in nature. Time is also curving back to where it started from. So time is not linear, it is cyclic, it goes back to where it started from, is what this theory talks about. And that's exactly what our shastras say, right? If we work now, whatever our sanchit karmas are, which we acquired from past births, they are sitting somewhere, right? We can burn off those. That means our desires, millions of desires, will be gone if we work now. That is possible. That means our present affects our past. Only thing is prarabdha karma, which we out of sanchit karma bucket we took some for this birth. We'll have to experience those, no matter what we do. But at least our present actions can burn past actions or past sanchit karmas, and uh, it's up to us. We don't want to do anything, just enjoy life and try to fulfill as many desires as possible, and other desires next birth, it's up to us. Or want to finish off now, want to meet God in this life, what is our desire? That is our choice. Okay? Because as long as there are desires, as long as there are multiple births, we'll be away from God, we'll be away from Parabrahma. But there are certain rishis, there are certain Mahatmas. For them, living in this body or not doesn't matter. Whether taking birth, they want to take birth again and again because they want to keep praising about God. They realize they are realized beings, but their desire, a small desire remains that they don't want to be with the God all the times. They want to be people, so they can bring many people to God. That's what they desire for. Like big rishis, big Mahatmas, they always desire like that. It's a choice. It's a choice that everyone is given. So whatever we like, whatever we want to, will be fulfilled. Third verse. नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यो न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन यमेवैष वृणुते तेन लभ्यस्तस्यैष आत्मा विवृणुते तनुं स्वाम. Meaning, this Atma is neither attained through sermons, nor through intellect, nor through listening to Vedas. Who seeks the Atma attains it. To him, meaning the seeker, does the Atma reveal its true nature. So, Atma Sakshatkar cannot be achieved by listening to Vedas, by listening to all these various Shastras, or not with intellect, buddhi. It's not a tool to do Atma Sakshatkar. Then what is? So, doing sadhana, doing upasana, or at least desire to seek Atma. If you think, even though we don't do anything, but at least there is a desire that I want to do Atma Sakshatkar. At least that notion, if it keeps coming over and over within us, that Atma will put us into that path and ultimately will bring to that experience. And that's what Upanishad also talks about. Because you are reading Upanishads, at least you are on that path because you are given that opportunity, you are given these choices, you are given this knowledge, because this is Brahma Vidya. The Upanishads are Brahma Vidya. Vedas, the source is Vedas, right? All these Upanishads come from Vedas. But if we try to read Vedas, they are like puzzles, they are like riddles. You will not be able to unlock the real meaning. But Upanishads, they are straightforward. Everything is given. There is no double or there is no locking or nothing riddling or puzzling in Upanishads. And that's why Upanishad is Brahma Vidya. And exact same thing Sri Krishna talks about in Bhagavad Gita, that Veda Shastra, Adhyayan, Shravan, or intellect, or anything, I think the words are very similar, will not bring you to me, but your devotion, your desire to meet me, attain me, will bring you to me, is what Sri Krishna says. Fourth verse. नायमात्मा बलहीनेन लभ्यो न च प्रमादात् तपसो वाप्यलिंगात् एते रूपायै यस्तु विद्वांस्तस्यैष आत्मा विशते ब्रह्मधाम. Meaning, the Atma cannot be attained by one who is devoid of strength, or by one who is careless, or by one who performs austerities improperly. But if these methods, strength, care, tapa, are used by a wise man, then his individual Atma enters the abode of Brahma. Again, strength. Rushi talks about strength. Why strength? Even if somebody is very pure, if somebody is sattvic, pure sattvic person cannot do dhyan, he or she must have some rajasic tattva within him. Only then dhyan can be performed. So without that strength, one cannot do dhyana. Uh, in Gujarati, there is a very famous sentence. It's called, the sentence is like this: Harino marag che shurano, meaning the path of God is for brave. Because whatever actions or whatever experiences one goes through, it's not uh, it's not for everyone. There are many examples in our recent times. In last 500, 600 years also, there were many Mahatmas, great saints like Mirabai. Mirabai attained oneness with Sri Krishna only because she was ready to drink poison. Are we ready? Can we drink poison? She willingly did that, right? She knew that this is poison, but she drank it because she had complete devotion, complete faith, and would know that nothing will happen to her. Are we ready to do that? We are not, right? So we have a long way to go. So this path is for brave, and we need to have strength to walk on this path. Carelessness, again, that goes with the patience, dhiraha. We have to be consistent, we have to be persistent. We cannot deviate, we cannot be careless. For even single breath, we cannot deviate. Every breath, as I said before, has to be for God, has to be for God, has to be offered to God, because it comes from God, it goes within, that is also for God. So we have to have this notion every second, every breath. So we cannot be careless. And tapa. Now somebody can say that, okay, I'll dig a big pit, sit within it, and pour soil on top of me, and just one hand comes out, and I'll do tapa like that. Will it help? No, because that tapa is not Shastra Sammat. Whatever our Shastras say, and very simple Shastra, if you cannot read anything, read Adhyaya 16 and 17 of Bhagavad Gita. It explains everything. How to do tapa, how to do dana, how to eat, everything is mentioned. 16th and 17th chapters. Very simply, it is given there. So follow that. Everything has to be done per the Shastras. Our Vedas, Upanishads, other Vedantic Shastras like Brahmana, Aranyaka. Yajurveda has many different types mentioned for Havan and all that. Even Bhagavad Gita mentions various types of yajnas. So follow all that. Then only that tapa has some value. And ultimately, it will take us to Parabrahma, because Parabrahma is within us.
So going back to the previous one, the desire. So we
Right.
should try to not desire,
Right.
so that we don't take the.
So that is for last stride. We have to have at least a desire to walk the path.
Desire to
attain
enlightenment.
Right, enlightenment. At least that desire. But ultimately that desire also has to be followed out.
So that should be the only desire.
Only desire, yes.
Otherwise,
yes.
it will keep getting fulfilled, but you have to take many births.
Yes, yes. Could be 2 births, 10 births, 100,000, million. Who knows, right?
So we should try to eliminate desires from our mind.
Actually, it is also very hard to do.
Right.
So how to do that? Bhagavad Gita says, offer everything to me. Right? Offer everything to me, and I'll take care of you. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Right? So that is the simplest thing we can do. We cannot be free from the desire, but whatever happens, I offer you. Krishna, take care of it. This is not mine. So if you can do that, that desire is gone, or at least the fruit of the desire is gone. And fruit is gone, the desire doesn't matter.
But that is to prevent accumulation of karma of what we are doing.
Beyond this life, yes.
Of what we are doing, but what about the previous one already accumulated?
No, that's what I'm saying. If you are on the path of sadhana, your sanchita karma will also be burned. Only prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is
One that was
chosen for this life. Fifth verse. Samprapyena mrushayo jnanatruktah कृतात्मानो वीतरागाः प्रशान्ताः ते सर्वगम सर्वतः प्राप्य धीरा युक्तात्मानः सर्वमेवा विशन्ति. Meaning, he is attained by those sages who are fulfilled in knowledge, disciplined in spirit, devoid of desires and calm, the one who pervades everything on all sides, who enters everything, is available to the wise ones who are established in the self or Atma. Very important. If you are on the path, if you don't have a guru, the guru will search for you, will come to you. Guru is an enlightened being. who can guide others, right? And who is also willing to guide others. Some people may choose not to enlighten others, so they are not gurus. But those people who are enlightened and choose to enlighten others, they are the gurus. And they know what is happening in this universe, right? So ultimately they'll come to you. Does not mean they'll walk to you, but you'll find them, right? That becomes in your life. Ultimately you find someone and you devote your life, you devote your everything and seek his or her blessings. That is your guru. Very famously, there is a Guru Gita. I think it is written by Kapil Muni, if I am not mistaken. But very famous mantra out of it. It is called, the mantra is like this: Dhyanamulam Guror Murtihi, Pujamulam Guror Padam, Mantramulam Guror Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guror Krupaha. Meaning, when you do dhyan, if you have Guru, do dhyan of Murti of Guru. If you do puja of feet, Charanarvinda of your Guru. If you do mantra, what is the mantra? Whatever Guru says. And what is moksha or mukti? Guru's grace, Guru's krupa to you. So that enlightened being is one with God. He or she himself is or herself is God, because they are one with God. And then only they can guide us, right? So they'll ultimately take us there. But condition is surrender when they come to you. If they come to you, if you are not ready, you will not accept, right? Or even if you accept, you will not fully surrender. That is also possible if you are not ready. But ultimately, that wise, that Rishi will come to you, will give you knowledge, will give you spiritual upliftment, will give you all you want to walk on that path. We can stop here, just 5 minutes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.